Hello everybody. Welcome to another video. I have a story. Yes, another funny story that happened to me. It's a little. Once I had sneeze, holy smokes. Wow, bless me. Anyway, I have a story. It's a little adult rated, so you know, it's one of the stories where you might want to put the kids to bed before we get into it. Um, so I used to work at Barnes and Noble. I would not recommend anybody else do that. Uh, and maybe we can talk about that some other time. But it was pretty miserable, and I would definitely caution anyone if you're going there to work for and you think you're just going to read books and talk to people about books all day, and it's just a chill kind of like, you're the books, you're shelving books and all that. It's great. It's not, at least not where I worked. It sucked. That's not the point though. Although this definitely didn't help the case. Although I will give Barnes and Noble the credit. It wasn't because of them. So I'd been working there for a while now, and something that you realize when you're working there, at least in my location, again I don't know how universal this is, but something I realized while working there was you'd get regulars. Well, you get regulars like you do anywhere, but at my place there were a few regulars that were very obviously homeless and or had had some screws loose. Like there was one lady who wore exclusively like pink socks, pink blouse, pink jacket, pink coat in the winter, pink pants, scarf, hat, earrings, just head to toe pink or purple. I think sometimes she wore purple as well, but it was either pink or purple, mostly pink. And whenever she did it, the whole body, like every item was the same color, like even the same hue. And so and she would like just kind of go around and ask people for money, or she would stand outside and ask people for like food, and if she got given food she'd get angry and throw it away. And so I don't know why she was allowed in. My supervisors were pretty passive about homeless people. There was another guy who would come in. I don't know if he was homeless, but I know that he would never say anything. I never heard him say a word the entire time I worked there, and he would come in at least once a week, buy an album, like a CD album, uh, leave for maybe anywhere from like 10, maybe not 10, but like 20 to like 20 minutes to like an hour, and then he'd come back and return the CD, and and use the money to that he used and buy a new one. And I think I always assumed, and I'm sure everyone else did, that he was just ripping them and then returning them. And again, I don't know why he was allowed to do that, but he would. And sometimes he would take the stuff into the bathroom and kind of just do stuff in there, come up to the registers, stand in line, get halfway through the line, then go back and kind of repeat the process. So really weird. And one time I saw him on the bus, like an hour away on the bus. He was riding it, and he had his headphones on with his little CD player. So I mean, do that with that what you will, I guess. All of this to make the point: strange people at Barnes and Noble. Um, One day I was on my break. It was a 20-minute break. Usually, as one might suspect, I would spend that time reading. Just in the break room, I would sit, read, whatever. Uh, this time, dude, I had to take a dump. My ex would, when she drops me off at work, she would give me some like granola bars that were really good, because she knew I didn't eat, and so I snacked on those like my first like 5 or 10 minute break. Then my 20-minute break, I was like, I'm gonna use the bathroom, and then I'm gonna go read for the rest of my shift. So I went in, used the bathroom, and I don't know what happened. I don't remember what I had the night before, but what I let loose into the toilet was an unholy entity. It was evil. It was it was an abomination to creation. and it was disgusting, and it was wet, and a lot. And so I'm like, no biggie. I'm gonna wipe this puppy down and then I'll be done. Reach in, no toilet paper, just that's the end. So I'm like, all right, that's a little inconvenient. I'll just grab one from the next stall. I was just going to be bold and just kind of like penguin waddle with my pants down into the next stall real quick. Zoom zip. Someone walks in, sees the grandfather clock. That's fine. It's not something he hasn't seen before. But no, I look under. Luckily, I had the foresight to do this, so I didn't get stuck with a way more awkward situation. But I look under the stall next to me, and there's a pair of shoes, and I'm like, oh, all right, I'll just sit here. I have a 20-minute break. I'll sit here, might sacrifice some time, but that's fine. When he leaves, I'll dart in, and I'm good. The dude was on the toilet for 15 minutes. I had 5 minutes left on my break, and I was sitting there, and I was texting my ex, I was texting my friend, and I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, this isn't a situation where I'll shower later, right? Like, this is a situation where if it doesn't get cleaned, then things are going to be stinky and sticky and chafing and itching, and it was wet enough that there was a high potential that was also going to be visible through my khakis. And so I was like, this isn't a thing where I can just wait the next like 5 hours and go home and I'm done. It's like it's a situation that needs to be resolved. This guy just isn't leaving. I don't know what he's doing, probably on his phone. At least that's what I thought at the time. Because I look at his boots and I'm like, I'm remembering this guy because he's wronging me and frankly everybody else, although no one else came into the bathroom. So 5 minutes left on the clock. He flushes, gets his stuff done, leaves. I remember the shoes and I'm like, screw that guy. So I start buckling up, getting ready to go into the stall. The guy doesn't wash his hands, doesn't flush, just leaves. And in the time it takes him to leave, I hear the door open and the door closes and another pair of footsteps come in and some dude sits down. Like, it takes like 5 seconds for this to happen. The guy gets up, leaves, another guy takes his place within seconds. And I'm like, oh, are you kidding? So I'm like, don't worry, normal people don't take 15 minutes in the Barnes & Noble bathroom. So I'll just wait for this guy and then I'll be good. And probably by now things are like drying up and getting crusty down there for me as well. So I'll need a little more time on the cleanup duty. But no, I'm cursed with a second man. He takes a few minutes. I am now at 20 minutes. My break is now over, and I've spent the entire time in the bathroom waiting. And I'm like, look, if this guy doesn't leave in the next few minutes, like, I could get in trouble for this. And I can't exactly tell my supervisors, who already love to pick on me and humiliate me whenever they can in front of customers. Like, I can't just tell them that I couldn't leave the bathroom because my butt looked like a bowl of Muddy Buddies. Like, and that wasn't a situation I could just pull up and leave for later. They wouldn't care, and if they found out, they would probably just use it as fuel against me. So I was like, shit. So not only does this guy take a while, but I hear something, and it's a steady kind of like, and I'm like, I'm sure this isn't what I think it is, because this is a Barnes & Noble public bathroom, and there's no way this is what I think it is. But then it gets louder, it gets faster, and the guy starts to let out a few grunts, and those grunts turn into a few moans, and I'm like, the need to leave and to just not be near what's happening in the stall next to me steadily outweighs the desire to clean myself properly. I'm like, things are dried up enough at this point. I'm just going to leave, and I don't want to be here, and I don't want to know this ever happened, and I wish this was a memory that could be mind wiped from me by the Men in Black. So I'm pulling out my pants and hear a crinkle, and then I remember I have wrappers. So from the granola bars that my ex packed for me. and I had like 3 of them because I'd eat like a box a day. Like they were the only food I ate really until like dinner time, and even then, not always I ate dinner. So I got like, I know, like 4 of them. I wiped down as much as I could. It was actually pretty effective. It was a little pokey, a little crinkly, but got the job done. I threw the wrappers away. I didn't flush them. I threw them away. I washed up, left, got on my shift. I was only like 3 or 4 minutes late. Uh, so I don't even think anyone noticed, which was lucky. But so, and I remember the second guy's shoes as well. So I'm walking around the store, and the guy that was there first was the same guy who would take the CDs and take them to the bathroom sometimes, or sometimes just buy them and then leave the store for upward like up like to an hour, and then bring them back and return them. And so I was like, all right. So that was kind of nice actually. There's a little closure, and I got a little more into the mystery of what in the world that guy does in the bathroom. I still don't know what he did, but I knew that whatever he did, it took him like 20 minutes to do it, like at a time. So I was frustrated, but at least I got like that little little a very small silver lining to that situation. And so I'm going around the store. A few more minutes pass by, and then the second guy that used the bathroom for unholy things that are only rivaled by the unholy thing I put in that toilet 20 minutes before he got there. He comes out. I see his shoes, and this dude looks like Santa Claus. He is like 5'8", 5'9". He is like almost perfectly round. He's wearing all red, but like the hues are a little different though. So he has like a dark red pants that could even honestly maybe even be like construed as brown if you looked at it in the right light. He had a red button up and a red jacket. His boots were brown though. I didn't see his socks. And he had a beard that went down to his belly button. And he was a redhead. Although he was older, so there's some white in there. But he was a redhead. And he had just crazy hair flying everywhere, like Albert Einstein hair. And he walked out, and I was near the bathroom area, so I see him come out of the hallway, look at his shoes, see it's him. He takes a step out, firmly plants both feet just on the ground, scratches his ass, and then with a content sigh, just saunters out. Doesn't buy anything, doesn't say anything to anybody. Just, he came in Barnes & Noble, rubbed one off, pulled his pork, and then off he went, off into the wind to find his next retail store. And then I did this time very quickly dart in and properly clean down there with toilet paper. Although I didn't use that stall, I went into the stall that guy was in and threw away the first few pieces of toilet paper, just flushed it, and then took like a handful of toilet paper into the stall I was in and then cleaned in there, because there was no way I was about to share the warmth of a stranger's ass who just pulled his pork like minutes before. So, but all's well that ends well, I guess. I ended up getting cleaned up nice and good. I was never told how to change the toilet paper, and when I told them, they didn't seem too concerned. So, I know we had cleaning ladies come in every now and then, a couple times a week. So I think they just waited till the cleaning ladies did it, which was, a weird thing. But because of that experience, there is a moral to the story. And the moral to the story is, always check the toilet paper before you do something unholy to a toilet. And I do. Every time I use a bathroom, whether it's public or private, high-class restaurant, hotel, whatever, before the door's closed, I make eye contact with toilet paper. Because I never want to be stuck in a situation again where I'm just boned for like 15 minutes, and then someone does boning while I'm waiting in the stall right next to it. So that's my message to the world. I hope that this moral of the story rings true, because you might think you're invincible and you're young, and you'll never be stuck in a situation like that. But brother, let me tell you, when it does happen, you won't be prepared. You'll be scared. You'll be alone. You'll wish you had someone there for you. And they won't be. You'll be late to get off your shift, and you'll have the sounds of Santa Claus pulling his pork. And that's it. Safe out there, friends. And thanks for listening. I hope you have a good one. Bye.